I shot someone for $3 million.
Oh, that's
I'm
perfect.
still waiting on the payment.
As soon as I hit record, I hear you say you shot someone, so that's good. I'm gonna keep that against you.
I procrastinated. I had the book like behind one of my monitors, so I never really saw it. Never thought about it.
No.
You were texting about it this morning. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's a thing.
How did you make that quick?
It was only like 120 pages.
I mean, I don't know, that's pretty quick.
It took me like an hour and a half.
I was gonna say it was an hour and a half of the audiobook, and I know that because I listened to it from work yesterday and today.
Nice.
You
I
gonna say
love it.
audio?
Holly, are you and I the only one? Holly, when did you finish the book?
What?
When did you finish the book?
I actually finished it last week because the ending is so good that I have to just keep reading it.
That's
But
gonna
it took me
well,
many days.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun to talk about because I think we might disagree. But let's start off with part 3. Also, really quick, since I noticed last time I did most of the talking. So can you guys please I don't want to do all the talking.
I was talking in it.
You were. It's more like Ethan and Austin.
I felt like I got talked over a lot last time.
I'll shut up then.
Okay,
But,
I was just saying.
So yeah, what'd you guys think of starting in part 3 and everything?
Oh
Part
gosh.
3 was just that diary entry, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was pretty much like she was being paranoid, think she was being followed, and then she tried to finally break up her friendship with Felix, which I hate. John, like, God, that he sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Like every time he's just like, oh, let's get more drinks. Oh, let's have a cigarette. Oh, but remember the good times of this. Oh yeah, remember this. It's like she's like, you're manipulating me. I know what you're doing.
I really wanted him to be the villain in this book.
Did you guys think he was initially like?
No,
Yes.
When,
I just thought he was. I knew
Max
he was too much of a coward in my opinion. I knew he wasn't the main villain. He was just a.
For the longest time, I thought he was banging Kathy.
No.
I even said it like, he's banging your wife, dude.
I wasn't aware there was a villain until part, whatever, 5? 4? 5? I don't remember when that part was revealed.
Or beginning of 5.
yeah.
I just thought the whole story would revolve around Alicia. I didn't realize that there was going to be anything else beyond that.
A twist and everything.
Yeah, like I didn't think there would be anything more to the murder.
Yeah, no, but that's what makes it so interesting, I think.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. Definitely not expected.
I wasn't trying to figure out who the real killer was, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah. When I was reading it the first time, I didn't really... Like, I wasn't trying to figure out who the killer was, because I didn't think it was something that we were...
Gonna find out.
Yeah, I thought it was just part of the storyline, but...
Well, a lot of stuff like that, I'll wonder, but I won't, like, try to deduct it. Like, when I read a book or watch a movie or something, I'm just along for the ride. There's very few times I'm like, who is it? Like, the first time I watched a certain show with Ethan, I was like, I think it's this person. But most of the time, I'm watching it as it was kind of intended. Like, just sit back, relax, and you know, you'll see it.
Yeah.
That's how it was with this book. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. I'm trying to think what else happens in part...
She sees a therapist, kind of like under the table, Dr. West, which we later learn, like, you know, he's
Christian West.
He's in the Grove. That's so like that was for the longest time. That's when I started to hate him even more.
Who, Christian?
Yeah, like I hated him from the beginning because he was a dick and everything.
He was not meant to be a likable character.
I know,
And then
but
you learn this, and it's like, all right, he's definitely not a likable character.
yeah, because then you learn like, hey, if you were seeing her beforehand, why are you not trying to help her, and why didn't you not testify? Like.
What were you gonna say, Austin?
I liked him as a character. Maybe
Really?
because I'm a cynical bastard and he's pretty cynical. And he was just like, yeah, this is a waste of time, don't bother. And I don't know, I kind of think that way about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it was kind of relatable in that sense.
So let me get this straight. He was reading the book, and Christian said, I don't think we should help her. You close the book? That makes sense. Just stop reading it.
No, I didn't stop reading, obviously.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
I got the sense that he was kind of jaded. Like he spent a lot of time trying to figure it out and then couldn't, and then
And got worn out.
Kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been feeling that way a lot with work.
He
So-
should have announced his past with her, though.
I mean,
Yeah, I agree with that part.
Well, he
You
was
don't-
he was
you
afraid
don't know
because
that until the end of the book. I was saying, like,
Yeah.
in the earlier part of the book, before you know all that.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what Ethan's saying is that when he first met Theo, like, and when he was working at the Grove and he said, "Hey, I'm going to try to help her," he should have said, "Yo, by the way, I had some sessions with her before she shot her husband in the face."
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
he definitely should have. Well, I guess if he had any kind of ethics, he would have actually not done that session since it was under the table.
Well, I think
Yeah.
didn't they say, wasn't he friends with Gabriel and he was trying to like, "Hey, my wife's kind of having issues, can you please try to help her?" So
Yes.
I understand that. Like, he was just trying to help his friend's wife out. So I get that,
if
but
you're like certified, that's a huge no-no.
Which I
yeah,
don't really understand. Why is that a no-no?
I disagree with that. Like, I mean, I feel like I had no problems with him helping her. He shouldn't have taken Gabriel's money, but I don't have the issues that he did do it. I have issues that he didn't do anything with her trial or tell Theo. That's
Prescribed
that's my
stuff. I
problem.
think that's what made it wrong.
oh, that's right. That's where it was kind of illegal because he did prescribe her pills to try, and she did spit them out. That is right.
Right,
I'm looking at my notes right now. Elisa spat the pills out in the sink. So that was where it was kind of like, yo, you really can't do that unless she's like officially a patient of yours. That's so yeah.
Like, it's one thing to have like a session just to like talk about and try to figure things out. It's another thing to like actually be her doctor, but you're not a doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that. And then he didn't even believe her because when she said like, "Hey, I confronted the man. I have a picture," and it was like blurry and everything, and no one believed her. To be fair, so let me ask
Did
you.
you guys believe her?
No.
Like initially?
I
No.
did. I felt like if she was going to hallucinate something and she was going crazy, the person wouldn't have just imagined someone watching her doing nothing for days at a time and weeks, however long it went on. Like I feel like because with each chapter she said he's just standing there again, he's just standing there again. It would have gone progressively worse if she truly was losing her mind and she's psychotic or whatever, or has extreme paranoia. So once he's like on the third time, like the third day when she said he's just standing there again, I was like, this is real though. Someone is watching her.
Yeah.
The exact opposite. Like, because if he's real, I feel like he would escalate his behavior, and if he's not, he's just kind of a fixture of her mind.
Well,
Yeah.
she made it very clear she was standing. She didn't really hide the fact that she was staring back at him in the kitchen. So maybe I felt like that was like her only defense was like her saying basically, "I know you're watching me," so he didn't try anything.
I can get behind it.
What were you gonna say, Ethan?
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
If you believed her, or if she was hallucinating.
Yeah. Did you think she was? Excuse me.
To be honest, I didn't believe her at first.
I'm glad
Did you
I'm
only
not-
did you only believe her when she was tied up? Is that when you're like, okay, now they do drill?
No, I believed her at the end of part 4.
That's funny. But yeah, that's interesting that we're 50-50, that like half of us thought she wasn't hallucinating and the half thought she was. That's interesting.
For the longest time, I thought that it was like her unconscious self, just like I thought like it was like her seeing the ghost of her dad or something like that.
Well, okay.
And that's what I kind of thought initially, because when we found out that she had previously seen things, it kind of was like, okay, well maybe she's just going through something again.
Yeah.
That I
Like,
think
oh, it's the ghost of her father coming to haunt her. Ha ha!
I honestly think
How I took it.
that's why I think she wasn't hallucinating this time, because the fact that like yeah, she had a history of it, but since like they mentioned that and every single person, Gabriel the therapist, said, well, you must be seeing things again. Like they were so dismissive of it, I was like, okay, I think that's why it's real as well, because I don't know, the way it was written, I think that was on purpose, where it's like it was meant to be, they were all dismissive so like instantly that this time she's not being crazy.
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I just didn't think much of him until.
So I'm trying to think what else happens in that part, like, you know, the next things. All I have is
They went to dinner.
she can hear a man at. Oh yeah, that whole dinner scene was awkward
Yeah.
because she thought it was him. She thought it was
Yeah.
what's his name? I can't see it.
Max.
Yeah, and then
Max.
she went up to him and slapped him and said, "Stop following me!" And like, I know what you're doing. He's like, I am so lost right now. Did Gabriel see that fight or no? I know Max's wife did, but did Gabriel see that
No.
fight? Yeah, I thought.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And I don't think Max would have told Gabriel because then that would have been a whole thing.
Yeah, it's like, well, why'd she say that?
Yeah.
Well, I confessed my feelings to her over and over again, consistently. And I totally bang your
He
wife.
still had feelings for her.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't remember. When did the wife of Max storm out? Was it?
Right after,
She-
like,
It
I
was that dinner thing.
yeah, I think she
What did he say?
don't like. She's called her psychotic and crazy, but the reason she left and she got mad at her was because when he said, I know what you're talking about," she was thought she was going crazy. So then she slapped him and she like kind of walked in at that point.
Oh, okay. I was trying to remember why she got offended.
Yeah, because she saw her husband getting slapped.
That would do it.
Holly, that would do it. But yeah,
She had suspicions during the dinner because she caught him staring at Alicia for like every other again.
Yeah, she probably sensed something going on.
Yeah.
she must have. I think that's why, like in the beginning,
The only person who didn't sense anything was Gabriel.
I know, and now we
Yeah.
kind of know why, because he was also distracted with his own like little secrets and everything.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: during that part when Theo was following Kathy, 2 questions. Did you guys think it was right or wrong for him to follow her?
I think it was. I don't think it was wrong.
I think it's kind of a fine line. Like if he just is trying to figure it out just to get the truth of it, then maybe like one time and then he finds out and then he confronts her and just be like, hey, I don't want this. But if he just continues to follow her and stalk her and then like, that scene in the trees, like that's just too much and too weird.
That was the other. So Austin, what did you think? Was it right or wrong for him to follow her?
I'm like almost dead on with Holly.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I thought it was fine because like I seriously like like I said earlier in the first video, when he said he was high, like he wasn't too high, he could control it. I totally believed the entire time she was cheating. So
Me too.
I wanted, like, I was like, she's definitely cheating, dude. Like, keep following her because she's gonna eventually meet the person.
Right.
But like when
Yeah.
she eventually followed the dude and like they were making out and everything and then they went into the trees, he once again could have saved so much trouble for everyone. Is instead of just not moving and just listening to them grunting and moaning, he could have been like, "What are you doing?" And then he could have. She's like, "Why are you following me?" It's like, "Cause when I got high that night, I tripped over your laptop and I saw your emails that you two have been exchanging. Blah 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 blah." Just like when he went home after seeing his therapist and he was gonna say, "Yo, she's like, how's your day? Good. By the way, I know you're cheating on me." He could have if he had just confronted her both of those times, it would have saved a lot of trouble.
I think his.
so. Oh, sorry, go Ethan.
Then
I think his. Sorry, I'm gonna speak. I think his biggest thing that he was trying to do without that Aaron was he was still trying to like keep her.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
He couldn't do that if he confronted her.
I know, but I don't think at that point, like, if you're literally listening someone else being balls deep in your wife, I think it's over.
I think so too.
I would also agree with you.
If you can hear the man's nuts slapping against your wife, I think you know it's done.
allow me to introduce you to this thing called cuckolding.
Yeah, but I was just like, bro, like, just take a few more steps and you'll see it. Like, just confront them. But yeah.
But they're like, why are you following me in the woods? I mean, to be fair, that whole relationship was built on cheating.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised
Yeah.
it
They-
ended well, I guess it didn't end, but with the whole thing with cheating.
I do remember, like, when at that chapter when they were, like, in the forest, I was like, to be fair, they lasted longer than most people who start their relationships off cheating with their other, you know...
With a significant other, yeah.
Because they were married for how long at this point? Like 8 years or something like that?
Something like that.
They were married for quite a while. So yeah, it's like they lasted longer than most people would have who were in this situation.
Yeah, like started out with that type of foundation.
Yeah, I just why I don't understand. It's like if you guys start your relationship off cheating, don't you think they're prone to cheat again?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they'll stay with you until they're bored. And then once they're bored, well, you know.
I feel
It's
like
clearly...
that's not
Sorry.
exclusive to cheaters, but
I know, but I mean, like if they committed it, if they did it once,
It's like a general rule.
the probability of it being done again is pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I more meant the board thing.
Oh.
Yes, but the fact that they would so easily do it on each other's significant others. Like...
I don't disagree.
I think everyone's prone to it, but like they would definitely. It was high risk.
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's what I was trying to say. It's just like if you start it out like that, it's you're basically asking for it to happen again.
They did not consider
Or
the
at
risk
least,
factors.
or I guess the best way I'm trying to describe it is if your relationship starts off with you guys cheating on the other people, don't be surprised if one of you cheats. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm sorry if I'm jumping around. I'm trying to like look at my notes as it goes along, but the next thing I see after that is Theo talked to Paul because
Oh yeah.
he started reading more and more about the journal.
Oh,
And
I
the-
forgot about that. Yeah.
And Paul. So really, when they were getting to the roof and everything, you know, like he said he was tripping and everything, and Paul
Right.
Paul knew he was gonna trip, so he like ran up to him and reached his hand out.
Yeah.
Did you guys think he was gonna push him or not?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't. I did not think so. What do you think, Austin?
I thought it was.
I didn't think so.
Why did you think that, Holly?
I don't know. That family. I mean, at first he was welcomed by being knocked out when he went to the house. And
Well, that was a misunderstanding because that was he didn't know who he was. That's why he.
I know, but the dude just seems like very unpredictable, and I don't know. I just thought he was gonna get pushed off the roof.
I felt like once he learned that he was a therapist and he's trying to help, when he like said like, "Hey, I need you to tell me everything because it will really help me save your cousin." Like when he said, "Let's go to the roof," I'll explain there. I think he really was trying to give him all the information to help save his cousin. I think he was justified to hit Theo in the head when he first intruded because if you see a man sneaking around your house,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
I thought that was justified.
Everyone thinks that. Even Theo thought that was somewhat justified.
That's
Like, yeah,
true.
alright,
He did say like
Yeah.
I was sneaking around your property. So yeah, that's true. Even Theo was like, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, and then like if he didn't like Theo, he wouldn't have invited him to the bar.
Yeah,
That's also
that's
true. Yeah, because he said like, yeah, let's meet at the nearest bar. I can sneak away from my mother for a little bit.
Yeah, and taking him to the bar, it wasn't a ploy to hurt him in any way. So I figured he's not going to take him up to the roof to hurt him when he could have just done something else before that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The family seems a little crazy.
Well, his house is in the middle of like nowhere, so he could have been like, "Yo, let's go back to my house real quick." Hit, shovel and then use it and then bit like so. That's why I thought he wasn't going to. When he reached his hand out, I was like, "Yeah, Theo's probably about to trip or something, and he's gonna save him." And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it shouldn't have been that hard to get around a roof like that.
I know when I was reading that, I was like, "Bro, how hard?" But it is in London, so I wonder if it was like icy or something at that time because they did constantly say it was cold.
They said it was icy.
Yeah, and they said it was cold.
Okay. I think I missed that part.
That and alcohol was involved.
That's true.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they were
only
intoxicated.
drinking. Okay.
I think Paul was fine because he's pretty much established he was an alcoholic at that point. Like,
He's
so
a functioning alcoholic.
a few beers Well, I mean, he barely does anything with his life because he just takes care of his mom and that's it. So functioning isn't I think the right word, but he can take his
It's
liquor.
harder to take care of someone than you'd think.
But I mean, he kind of felt trapped and kind of let it consume him. Like he didn't really do anything else at this time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but
Well, what did you guys think of the revelation that he told Theo?
I felt so bad. I can't imagine like hearing your own father yell, "Why couldn't you have been the one? Like, why couldn't my daughter have been the one to have died?" I was like, "Oh, that's probably gotta hurt a lot."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be horrible.
I even wrote it down. She said, "He killed me. Dad just killed me." It's like, that's horrible. And
It's basically what he did too. Like he wished she died in his
yeah,
head.
yeah. I mean, I think they said it was. I didn't write down the exact words, but it was psychological murder or psyche murder, whatever like that.
Psychological infanticide.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he basically
Infanticide?
he mentally killed his daughter right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it probably didn't help her that then he later killed himself. But now we know why, because he missed his wife.
Well, yeah, but that obviously that would take a toll on Alicia.
Oh yeah.
To
And
miss
then
his wife.
what, Austin?
Never mind.
You too miss his wife? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
But yeah, when I read that, I put it down for the night and I was like, I'm gonna have to digest that because that was a lot.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah. I think that was the main thing that was revealed, right? Or was there anything else?
That was the main thing, because then like right after he went to her and said, Paul told me what happened, and then Theo said, in quotes, I have it like, he killed you, and that's when she looked up and said, what did you say? Like, so that's what finally got her to talk, is when he said he killed you. So like he's basically saying I actually truly do understand now.
Yeah. Which is probably why she went, well, he was thinking she also went mute for the second time because she was already damaged and broken, right?
Right. It basically, like Theo said, basically because she never like sought therapy for that, it went deeper and deeper, and then once, you know, her dad died, and then all this, and then the whole like issue with Gabriel, she pretty much just shut down.
Yeah.
And I think that since we now know obviously who Theo really is, I think part of hearing that she had died initially took some stress off of him, because he realized, okay, well, she was already mentally broken.
Yeah,
so by doing what I did, there was a reason why it was, more dramatic than he thought it would be.
Yeah, she was already unstable. That's like, we're getting close to that, because like the next parts I have for the next chapter was like when Theo followed who we now know as Gabriel and literally almost killed him. He had the rock and he was about to like smash his head in.
Yeah.
Kind of he would, but I didn't realize at that point that was
None of us.
past.
Yeah. So we can jump around a bit, because like the next few chapters I have with notes. We're almost there. So like slowly after that, once like he followed him and everything, and that's when he started watching. That's when the investigation happened, right? Because he came up to the hospital and there were police cars or whatever and everything, because someone tried to or they didn't know at the time.
She was heavily drugged, and then he said, "Oh, hey, by the way, Christian probably he threw Christian under a bus."
We didn't know that at the time. At the time, we truly thought it was someone else, because he's the one who noticed it. When he noticed it and was about to report it, who did you guys think it was?
I thought it was Diomedes.
You thought it was Diomedes?
Yeah.
Wait, why'd you think
Why? Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know. I thought that would be the twist.
Oh, I seriously thought, I was like, it's Christian. It has to be.
That's who I thought it was.
Because I think that was the obvious answer. So that's probably why Austin didn't go with that one. That makes sense.
Because it's telling you it's Christian, and I didn't think it'd be the
I
main
knew I was
character,
being
so
baited, but I was like, I don't know who else it could be. So like, I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's Christian. I mean, it makes sense why the book would say that, because like he has the most motive, because he would lose his job if you know,
Yep.
she eventually
Yeah.
went like, yeah, he gave me pills that stuck under the table and all that stuff. So
Wait, you guys skip over the part where Theo and Alicia have conversations and everything.
oh yeah, they had a couple conversations. I totally forgot about that because like they had a couple. Like the only thing I can remember that was memorable was, and I thought this was
Walking in the courtyard.
I thought this was a stupid reply, but when he asked her why didn't you talk all these years, and she went, there was nothing to say. I was like, really? Really? I think there was a lot to say.
She's
I
devastated, like,
I really
that's,
disagreed with that line. There was nothing
Yeah.
to say. Even at your trial? Are you sure?
It's not as interesting as a story if I would talk.
Yeah, right.
The plot wouldn't allow me. But yeah, that was the one thing that really upset me.
Allow me.
Your mic totally cut out, Ethan.
That sounds not what you said.
No. But yeah.
But they were talking about
Oh yeah, he asked what happened.
Oh yeah, and she had lied to him.
Did you guys think she was lying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin?
Sorry, mid water drinking.
You're good. I heard your water bottle get put down. Did you think she was lying when she told her story?
I thought she was embellishing.
Oh, like just adding a little bit.
Yeah.
I totally thought she was lying. I literally like in my head I went this woman is so this woman's lying. Like she's lying through her teeth. But the
Yeah,
sad
I don't know what I thought she was embellishing. I thought it was similar.
dressed up.
Like I thought reality was similar to what she was saying, but not exactly. But I couldn't pinpoint what was wrong.
Yeah.
I just think like the way Theo said like she was like the way she was like looking at him and everything. It's like she was kind of testing him to see if he would call her out on it, but then he decided just to wait and talk to you. What's his name? That was the D. I always pronounce
Diomedes.
Diomedes.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, I
Very interesting name.
yeah, I know, right? I think it was a good idea to not confront her at that moment. Well, not for multiple reasons, but yeah.
Yeah.
Even I like how Diomedes, when he told the story, he was telling the story, he took out a cigarette, took a puff, and went, "She's lying, you know." I just love how he said it with such confidence, like, so you know that's bull, right?
Yeah.
You did take me for it. Of course I know that real. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, and then after that, that's when the overdose happened, because that's right, because he was going to talk to her tomorrow, confronting her,
Yeah.
being, and then that's
They lied.
yeah, and that's when the quote unquote overdose happened, and
So about that, I was actually really confused. at
Wait,
that
about
part.
what?
Like, once we learned who it was, that it was him, like, I was really confused because he's confident enough to try to murder her, but not confident enough to confront his wife about cheating.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Like that was really odd to me.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like you're not gonna. They're kind of like this is later. I don't. Like you.
Well, again, he was trying to keep his wife. He was trying to keep that relationship.
I guess that's
Confronting
true.
them just leads to divorce, but he was trying to save it.
That's
He's
true.
enough of a
It's not like-
psychopath that he's gonna
Yeah.
kill some girl, and not enough of a psychopath that he can't let go of his wife. It seemed odd.
Well, he also is mentally unstable because he has a bit of a history and a past, and with his parents, with that whole past, like he's always wanted to feel loved. So it
Yeah.
kind of goes with what Ethan was saying, where he knew if he confronted her, Kathy would just leave and be fine without him.
Oh
but he-
yeah.
Without her.
I didn't think about that. The reason he didn't want to lose is because it would just be he's trying to fix his past with his parents. That's right. He does always want to be loved.
And that was kind of the same with Alicia too, with just wanting to be loved, which is why she was so reliant on Gabriel.
Because she finally found someone who truly loved her, or she assumed truly loved her.
Yeah.
until he
we find out it was
broke
him.
that trust. Yeah.
Did you guys like? I felt so bad for Gabriel, and I thought he was such a great guy throughout the diaries and the flashback. Once you learn it was him, it's like, you piece of like, what's wrong with you?
I did not like Gabriel at all.
Wait,
beginning?
even yeah, what?
Throughout the diaries, he's just like this. It seemed like he was keeping it as a trophy, like, oh, I've got so many important things to do.
What? Where do you think that?
That's just what I got, like, the vibe I picked off from him.
Oh.
Like, he probably cared for her at the beginning, and then just stopped. Clearly, he stopped.
What about the whole, like, babe, get help?
The what?
When he said, hey, let's promise me you'll see a therapist and everything. You didn't think that was him trying to help and everything?
I think it was just him trying to push the burden to someone else.
Yeah, like
Oh.
And he didn't want to take the time to.
Yeah.
To be fair, he was
care for his
he
wife.
he
I
was
think
he,
it's-
he
he
was
just
busy
cared
getting
about-
his getting his dick wet in his defense.
Yeah, and it's at that point, and who knows how long into that relationship that was going on for?
See,
we
that-
have no time on how long he was sleeping with Kathy.
That's one thing I am wondering is like was it when she slowly started like seeing things and like, you know, not being happy all the time and like being like, you know, even her painting, she wasn't getting into that. Like I wonder when he went like, I might want to cheat on my wife.
I don't know.
That's the interesting thing.
I don't think that's normally a conscious decision.
I think it is. You have to choose to do it.
Right, but it's not like
Wait, do you mean it as in like cheating or it as in it?
cheating. You don't go out actively trying to cheat on somebody. You meet somebody who you I don't know. This is my fairy tale version of it rather than reality. I could be completely wrong. I've never cheated on anyone, but
My speculation is that they met at some point during her when she was rehearsing for a play, because he was like a big shot designer, right?
Yeah, so he was probably doing stuff like that.
Photographer.
He was probably doing the costuming or something for that play, and they met there, and they were like, blah 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 blah.
Probably.
Yeah, you
And
just
there's
kinda,
also
like,
the accurate sound effects for
fall
kissing.
into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. That it probably was through work.
Yeah.
I liked him up until that point though. Like before you found out it was him, I was like, what a stand-up guy. And then you find he's cheating. I'm like, Gabriel, what's wrong with you?
What?
Like, dude.
I
yeah.
just kind of thought Gabriel was boring.
Yeah. He didn't play a huge part. He was just the one who
Except the
triggered
death.
the Theo. Yeah.
He just wasn't an interesting person. Maybe he just wasn't written interestingly, but to me he was not an interesting person.
It was also only from Alicia's point of view, so.
True.
I said she didn't see him a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Because he was-
maybe it was intended that he was supposed to be a boring person, so you don't really connect with him as much.
Well, because he's dead at the beginning of the book. And it's like, alright, should I care for this guy that he's dead? Not really. Especially later on, be like, oh, yeah, I guess he kind of deserved it. Fuck that guy.
Well,
Yeah, I guess
don't think
that's
he
true.
deserved it.
Yeah. I don't think he deserved to be killed for that.
What?
The one thing, like, we might be jumping a little bit, but once you learned it, well, not when he was cheating. Let me ask you this: when they eventually made the big reveal, it was on page 303, because I literally write down page 303. It's about Theo. Did you guys like that or not?
What happened on page 303?
They revealed that Theo
Like,
was
he
the
was
stalker when he said I followed her
I
home.
liked it.
I learned. He
I
said
liked
he
it a
said
lot.
I would confront her, and that's how. Or like he said when he said I snuck into the backyard which was open. I went into the cabinet. I put on my mask, whatever, and that she noticed my reflection, and the rest they say is history, and that's how I met Elisa Benson, whatever. I literally wrote it's
Yeah.
about Theo. I literally put the book down. I was like, well, I'm gonna continue this later on today. I
I couldn't stop.
I screamed in my car, what the fuck was that?
I personally thought I didn't mind the ending. I didn't wish they went in that direction.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I'm confronted. Like,
sense, though.
it makes a lot of sense for certain things. Like when when he said I want to I want to help you, or I want you to help see clearly. It explains why when he said
She
that.
fucking attacked him.
Yeah, because then that's when she realized it was you.
So what direction would you have preferred?
I don't know. That's the thing, but I wish it was like. I don't know. I don't want to say maybe. I wish she was truly
John
crazy,
Felix.
but
There was John Felix
no,
tormenting her.
I just.
and he died.
It just kind of sucks that like. I truly thought the entire time Theo was really trying to help her and everything. I just thought it wasn't like I knew there was gonna be a twist. I wish it wasn't that twist. Like
I mean, technically, he was trying to help her.
yeah,
he
but
didn't
no, he
do
was.
that.
But he was trying to help her, but kind of for selfish reasons because he felt guilty for ruining her life, but also because he wanted to see what he was afraid. I bet that if she wasn't going to eventually talk, she would talk about like what happened and who she saw and try to describe him. So he was basically trying to.
Right. He wore a mask. Like she would have no way of knowing
I-
that it was him unless he revealed himself to her like he did.
Right. I don't know. I feel like if this was any other story, I would have been like, "Bruh," like what? But with this, I was like, oh, I wish they kind of went another direction with it. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't like a big shock. Like I was like it's Theo. I was like, oh, okay, it's Theo. Got it. Cool.
I didn't like that he tried to kill her.
Yeah, that
I don't
part.
think
That
so.
part. No, he tried to kill. Do you mean Gabriel?
Didn't know, Alicia.
Oh, with the needle.
With the morphine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think at that point, because that's when he lost the. Was that before? That was before he tried getting the notebook back.
Yeah.
But that's right, because once she said like, she kind of fibbed a little bit about like the story and everything, because she could tell that she was testing him. Like she basically was saying, "I know it's you," with the way she looked at him
Yeah.
and told the story. Like that's when we learned it. But
Yeah.
I don't know why he felt killing her was the only way. I mean, I do and I don't. Like I understand because it's like frick, she knows it's me. She's gonna tell. And then I'll lose my wife forever if I'm in jail, blah, 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 but...
Right, but did Alicia want to turn him in before he jabbed her?
Probably,
For what,
I
though?
don't
What?
think he knew though.
because... I think she said she knew the moment when the first session they had, when he said, "I want to help you, you have to believe that." Because
Yeah.
that's the same line. She said in her diary, that's when she knew it was him. She said he looked somewhat familiar. She recognized his eyes, but she must be imagining things. Maybe she truly was going crazy. And then he said the line. And that's when she knew 100% that was the man who entered her home. And that's why she jumped him. We thought it was just because she was crazy, but
Yeah.
But also, she in her diary wrote, she said that she's like fading quick and she has to get this on paper so that they know. So I think
that was
her
because
intention-
of the morphine.
That's because that's because he tried to kill her.
Yeah.
yeah, so she would have turned him in because I think she had that intention. So
Yeah.
and he knew that.
Yeah.
Especially since she started talking again, he probably knew like, okay, well, my whole life is gone if I don't do this.
So the interesting thing is, it's funny how when he was cleaning up the room and he thought he got away with it, I like how he didn't want the painting of him and her in the fire building and everything, and it's just so poetic, kind of that's where she hid the diary. I'm still trying to figure out the symbolism of the painting.
Oh yeah.
Like, is she saying like they're both in hell, that they're there, or like
Well, that he was carrying her out of the burning situation, and that the fire would be. I don't know.
well,
I don't understand the symbolic nature of it.
it's just very. I like that. That's where she hid the diary, and that and he didn't want it because it was he was in the picture. If he had just picked it up, he would have felt it heavy on one side, checked the back, and been like, "Oh, here's a diary. Cool, I got it."
Yeah.
As soon as the inspector showed up at his house, they go, "Oh!"
Well, I kind of felt bad for him before he came up, because when he said like his wife was like, they moved, they were going to exercise and be healthy, and they kind of stopped, and his wife was just on the couch.
She was depressed. She lost another love of her life.
She gave up, and I think it's true. Like when Theo said like, I didn't want to lose her, and I've lost her in every way but physical. Like she's home, I'm close to her, like I can see her, but I've lost her emotionally, and
Yeah.
so in the end, it didn't really matter because he still lost her. But yeah, once he opened the door and it's like what's it, Inspector Allen, I think his name was.
I was like,
And-
the guy,
yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, when he's like, I happen to be in town, I was like, I doubt that's true.
Uh-huh.
Wait, really quick before we get too far ahead, what do you guys think of him kind of being on the sadistic side when he had tied up Alicia and was like kind of?
Oh yeah, we
playing,
kind of glossed over that.
Yeah,
I-
just thought it was so weird.
He is a
I don't.
twisted motherfucker.
I don't know why he tied her up. I would have understood if he wanted to kill Gabriel, but again, I felt like it's. This happens all the times in books and movies and shows. It's just like if you just say why you're there. If he had just been like, Gabriel, where were you today? Or like, what were you doing at, a few days ago? Where were you? It's just like, if he had said like, your husband is cheating on you with my wife.
But she wouldn't have believed him. Well, at least not at first.
I always just try to figure out like why was he basically punishing her?
Exactly. He was basically pissed off at her. Like that's why he tied her up and everything.
A while he thought maybe it was an open relationship and she just she just knew about her.
Oh, like the
But then
Okay.
that still doesn't matter though, because like then you shouldn't be mad at her because Gabriel's the one that's boning your wife,
yeah.
not her.
Maybe he thought he could back at her by. Because I always thought like that whole scene was going to turn somewhat sexual.
Oh
I
really?
did not see that.
I pistol whipped Gabriel and then stuck my tongue down her throat. Like what? Like what do you mean?
No, like when he tied her up, I thought it's going to end up.
Oh,
I
you
thought it
thought?
was
Oh,
gonna
you,
turn to rape.
you thought he was gonna rape her? Why? That doesn't make
He
any
was gonna get
sense.
back at him by sleeping with his wife.
Oh Christ! Oh man, I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I think you're alone in this one, Ethan.
Yeah. Austin's like, yeah, Ethan, that's kind of weird.
But what's the vibe I got? That was, he's gonna get back at this random dude by sleeping with his wife. And now he's just angry and wants everyone to feel his son. I don't know.
I can't believe we glossed over
I mean,
this
I
part.
can kind of see where you're coming from now. It just never
I-
went through my mind.
But it does make sense now, like when he tied them both. I mean, we had Gabriel up and then like he shot once in the ceiling, right?
Yeah, to make Gabriel think that
Oh,
Alicia
no,
was
to make-
shot.
To make a no, I think it was the opposite, wasn't it? When he
No,
said
no.
Gabe. Oh, that's right.
They weren't
That's
facing each other.
because he said Gabriel, you get to choose. That either
Yeah.
she dies or you. And that's the other thing. I was like, bro, again,
As soon as he said to one, I don't want to die.
yeah. And then instantly you were like,
Alicia.
that's where you got the name of the painting. And like instantly it's like, this makes sense now because he was gonna have her die. But I was like, dude, this man is cheating on your wife. So why are you punishing his wife? Like that didn't make any sense when he said choose who dies. It's like, bro.
I think now after talking about it, the only reason I can think of him doing it that way is because he wanted Alicia to know the truth and to feel the way he did, basically. Like, so he wanted her to hear
Oh, it
for
was like
herself that he chose to live, like that he actually didn't love her. Like he wanted her to hear that.
And to show Alicia the kind of man he really was. Well, because you can't just tell someone, you have to show them in some cases.
Yeah, that and like basically saying there's no such thing as real
Right.
love because he chooses himself.
okay, I kind of see that. I was still a little like I guess it makes sense. Like he was just basically trying to threaten Gabriel by saying I'll kill your wife unless you say the truth. Is that basically what you're trying to say? And
I think so.
uh,
Yes, because here's the thing. Is collecting thoughts. So something and this is what I think really showed Alicia that he did not truly love her. Because when you love someone, you would people were saying, I would take a bullet for you.
Yeah.
To show like they say how much that I love you. I would take a bullet for you. And then when it mattered the most, he went, nah, I don't want to die.
I also
And Alicia
I
was
also
gonna die.
I don't understand why he did that, because like if I was about to like, it's also
Because in the end, he truly didn't love Alicia, and Alicia finally saw that.
Yeah.
I think he did love her. I think he just fell out of love because like he got frustrated with everything. But I just if yeah, I don't know. I like two things about that. If someone said you choose, it's like, okay, but if I say her, you kill her, then you're gonna say, wow, that's messed up. I don't think you should live. Bang. Or let's say he truly did love her, but he was selfish and still chose himself. You would feel so guilty that the person you loved is dead. So like you would I would rather it be me. Like I've always thought that like if I ever get married and everything and one of us has to die first of old age, I hope it's me because I don't want to deal with the pain. And that's very selfish, but I admit it. So I don't understand either way why he did that. It's like, dude, you really think he's gonna be like, she's dead? All right, mate, have a good one.
Yeah.
Ethan said he didn't actually love her.
I know, but did he really think that if he said her name that?
Listen, tensions were high. The heat in that room was you know.
Well, yeah, there's a
there
gun
was
in your
a lot
face.
going on.
There's
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it all clicked when he's like I said earlier, like when he said I choose her. It's like got it. And that broke her. That was the final thing that Theo said as well. That was the final, because once again, emotionally, now the only person she truly loved and who she thought loved her killed her again. He reawokened her father, saying, "I wish my daughter died instead of my wife." Like that's why she wasn't killing Gabriel. She was kind of killing her father, and I guess kind of both. But I feel like she was more killing her father than Gabriel.
She was killing all the men who betrayed her in her life.
Well, and she also killed herself. Remember that line where she said that she didn't kill Gabriel? Gabriel killed her. She just pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Because he chose her.
It's a really good
Yeah.
line, though. I really like that line.
Yeah, me too. I had to like reread that one.
I don't know why I didn't write that down in my notes. That would have been a good one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I even did or not. No, I glossed over that. I must have. I remembered it. I just didn't write it down. But yeah. So that's why she thought she was sort of justified in killing him.
Yeah. No. And that's also why she didn't want to speak after, because she's.
No, Holly, she didn't speak after because there was simply nothing to say.
Because dead men tell no tales. And she was already dead, you tease.
But
You also have to
no,
remember she's an artist, and like when there's some people who have an artistic set of mind and they're very, very like what's the word? Not religious, but that stuff means a lot to them. So the whole painting and the meaning of it, they connect with it and they get really attached to it.
that actually makes sense to me.
Dead men tell
Kind of.
no
I'm trying to wrap my head
tales.
around it a bit.
Sorry.
Jesus, I don't even know what you just. I don't even know what you're losing.
He said,
about.
"Dead men tell no tales." He's still laughing at that joke.
Still, wow, I'm impressed.
But are you guys glad? Here's a good question. Are you guys glad that Theo got caught, or did you want him to get away with
Yes.
it?
I
Us-
wanted him to get away
Yeah,
with it.
no.
A
it's a
small
good
small part of me was like, kind of would have been nice if he did, because he would have lost regardless, because he knew, like he said, when he told his wife, like, hey, so a patient of mine almost died. You must have heard about her. You know, her Benson. She shot her husband. Blah blah blah. And she said nothing. That's when he said he knew he lost his wife. A part of me was like, this is your punishment. You guys will. She'll probably never leave you, because like I don't think she'll find anyone to love again. But you, like, he said it. He said he lost her. So like that was kind of his punishment.
Yeah, but he got the job of a lifetime, and he was highly respected. I don't know if that really would have broken his spirit.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have gone. Yeah, he would have gone away with it. But a part of me was like, I mean, he's already made it this far, so he might as well.
No, I'm glad he got caught.
I am too. I'm saying like 1% of me was like, it would have been interesting. But yeah, I am glad like when he opened the door and the cop was there, I was like, that's it, bud. He found the diary.
What I didn't understand was the whole snow incident. Like how he at the end of it he had caught a snowflake and
He opened the window because he knew, well, this is it, and he was just kind of lost in his own.
there's got to be symbolism to the snow. Like I just don't get the.
Let's
whatever
Google
the
it.
symbol-
I actually, because that is
His-
it.
Well, here's my theory. Because, snow falling, the sky is falling, his world is collapsing.
That could be it. Yeah.
And he took some solace in it. I don't know.
I avoid trying to analyze symbolism. That
It
unit
just
in
seems
high
very
school kind
random.
of ruined my opinion.
I don't
of
get this.
literature.
So this says when the detective starts reading the diary, he felt relieved. So the past paragraph, catching snowflakes, is about him feeling free of the guilt associated with him being the catalyst to Elisa's downfall and ultimately coma. Some freedom he felt when he was a kid. Oh, I guess they must have said something about him like enjoying the snow when he was a kid or something.
Probably something I just don't remember. Now, here's the question while thinking.
Oh, that is it. Look, I just read. I'm reading some comments real quick. When he was younger, he always associated snow with freedom. The only time he was happy during the 1 month that his father was away. That's right. His father was away during winter, and his mom and him would be happy and go outside, and he would play in the snow.
That's right.
Okay.
That.
Okay.
This makes more sense now. I just couldn't figure out the snow thing. I was like, this is so random.
I don't know why I didn't write that down. I think it was like 1 a.m. when I was reading this, but I do remember being like, I remember like thinking like that has to mean something. Let me write it down. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll go to bed, and then I just forgot. But
Here's the question while asking.
was it a good
What
book?
do you
Yes.
charge Theo with?
What do you want?
The question is, what don't you?
charge him with?
Attempted murder.
So attempted murder,
Okay.
attempted kidnapping,
Okay.
stalking. There's got to be some fancy law thing for.
There's gotta be something that end up never really causing a death.
Okay,
of Gabriel.
here's the thing.
I mean-
Attempted murders are pretty. That's pretty much the even if that's the only one they have, that's a good one, right? Can we agree on
Right.
that? Attempted murder is
But
pretty
there's
big.
Also, it's not even attempted kidnapping. It is kidnapping, and then
Yeah.
I mean, he put a gun to Alicia's head.
Oh
And
yeah.
she's tied up.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot. I mean,
Illegal discharge of a firearm. That's another one
Yeah.
because he did shoot a bullet.
but I mean,
Vandalism.
I think the major one. I'm pretty sure the major one they're gonna go with like. So should we do the fact that he fired a gun? How about the fact that he stuck a needle in a woman's arm and tried to kill her? Let's start with that first.
So how many counts do you have of attempted murder? How many counts do you have of stalking? Because not only did he stalk to the point where she ended up killing her husband because of the whole deal, but then he stalked her to the grove.
I don't think stalking is illegal.
Stalking is definitely illegal.
I think it is illegal.
It depends on the so like if I'm following like so let's say Austin, let's say like yesterday I followed you most of your day, Austin, you just didn't notice me. It's not illegal because I'm obviously kidding, but like if I'm following you and I'm not approaching you, technically yeah, there's nothing wrong because like if I'm not going on your house or any private properties, that's fine.
Right.
But if I start like sending you messages or like if I start sending you like
But he didn't do that.
like rabbit heads or whatever. So I don't think the stalking is.
No, I think it's oh my god. Hold on. I have Google at my fingertips.
I mean, there's a.
I'm gonna get to your list. What constitutes stalking?
I'm gonna get my charger real quick.
You're good. But yeah, I think most of all, the attempted murder is probably going to be the
Okay.
major one.
This is stalking is a course of conduct directed at a specific person that would cause a reasonable person to feel fear.
Oh, yep, and she did
is
like
that a
go.
legal definition though, or is that a?
Okay.
She
Oh,
did. She
yeah.
did go to her therapist and told her neighbors and her husbands. Oh, okay, we can't have Gabriel. He's dead. The therapist and her neighbor are still alive, and she confronted them, saying, "I'm being stalked. Someone's following me. I don't feel safe." So I guess that point, yes, would constitute as stalking. Especially when she said, she took a picture and said, "Stop following me." I think that was also it. If
Yeah.
let's say if I'm following Austin like to his work and everything, I'm just waiting in the parking lot and like I watch him go to the grocery store, or whatever. If he confronts me and says, "Stop following me," then it's officially like you are stalking them if you continue to do this.
Right, but is it illegal?
Stalking? I would imagine.
It's yes. In a lot of places, stalking is illegal.
I think if you're following them everywhere they go and you're watching them behind trees and being all weird about it, it would definitely be illegal.
It's like
And-
there's some information we can't give away at work. Like, oh, this person transferred what they transferred to. Can't legally tell you due to anti-stalking laws.
Right. It's also like, imagine if if the detective reads a diary, it's like, well, also charging you with being completely cut because of the forest incident.
Right. So your thing,
We're charging you with being a complete pussy.
your thing is liability. Like if you tell somebody, like what time somebody works, what time.
That's
somebody
not what I
stops,
mean.
then-
But like, because if that caused someone to end up being stalked, like if that person is constantly trying to figure out where this person is, and the other person knows about it.
Right, because we had that incident happen. Like, that's why, I won't say her name, but like, we had a coworker that she
What the fuck?
like whenever I would call at our first job, saying like, "Hey, I don't know my schedule. Can you tell me?" They'd be like, she would say, "We can't tell
Yes.
you," and it was because someone was stalking her because they would go in the break room and see when she worked. Sorry, then continue.
There's also stalking as a pattern of behavior. It is often made up of individual acts that could by themselves seem harmless or non-criminal, but when taken in context of a stalking situation, could constitute criminal acts.
Wait, hang on. Holly just sent a message saying, "I
That's what you
logged out
live.
but don't see the channel."
That was
I don't
an
see
old
that.
one.
Oh, I just got that.
Oh, well.
Weird.
That's funny.
And like,
So yeah, so basically what you said, Ethan, he was legally stalking.
yes.
Or I guess
He
it
was
was
legally stalking.
illegal, but like like in the
It was stalking.
it was legally considered stalking, is what I should have said.
It was considered illegal stalking, yes.
Okay.
Wait, Austin, how do you define stalking?
Only when they find
do you
out.
mean? I mean, I define stalking the same as everyone. I feel like you watch all these crime shows and you're like, yeah, we can't do anything about it unless he actually hurts you.
Oh,
So I
It's
think
not illegal to follow someone in public.
yeah, I understand what you were trying to say there, Austin. Like
To a degree.
like
But
when
it's
when
like-
I'm not
Behavior.
advocating for stalking somebody. I'm just
no. I see what you're saying though, because like when
Oh, we're not
if he was
sure.
just when he was just watching her through the kitchen, and he was on the sidewalk, was that stalking? It was, but I don't think it was illegal until when she said like, "I know you're stalking me, stay away." Then at that point, I think it was.
yeah.
It becomes illegal once you have caused fear to
This
someone.
this episode is about to now turn into us
think.
being lawyers.
I think it depends on what
Disclaimer, this
state
is
you live
not
in.
actual legal advice.
It is. You can use this in a court, being like, "Yo, Aaron said as long as I don't know about it, it's not stalking." That is not true. I really feel like I should.
I'm out of water.
But yeah, Theo's just a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Overall, though, I really did enjoy this book. I liked it, and
Oh, it's really good.
that's why I wanted to do this book club, because right now, like all I'm gonna read right now is I'm trying to read all the Halo books, and I'm gonna dip into Star Wars. So I never would have found this book,
right? It's a really good
and
one.
I really enjoyed it. So yeah. I don't know if you guys. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. I don't know if you guys want to talk about anything else. Like jump back between even like the first parts of the book. But yeah, overall, very very good book, Holly. I really enjoyed it.
Oh,
Same,
good.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else,
I-
but
I wasn't trying to say like I hated that it was Theo. I was just more like I kind of wish it was something else. But I didn't hate it. Like if it was any other thing, it would have been a major twist. But for me, I was like I was kind of hoping it was gonna be like I wanted Theo
It
to
would have been
be.
Max. It would have been John. It would have been Paul. It would have been all of them. somehow.
I kind of wanted Theo to always be the good guy. So when he became the bad guy, I was like, I don't know, but I did enjoy it.
yeah, no, me too. It was really good.
And now we know, kids, if you're gonna kill someone with morphine, more than 3 doses.
oh my gosh.
Do it right.
Yeah, go.
Show them they don't,
Do
they
it-
don't have a diary.
Watch
Wait,
them
did she
die.
actually
That
die?
wasn't- that was-
one thing
No.
I didn't know.
No, she was in a coma.
Oh, hold on. We skipped something entirely.
Oh God, what?
Yuri.
Oh,
Yuri.
oh yeah. God, we're so bad at this. This is why.
Out to be a fucking drug peddler.
Yeah, this is
mean,
true.
I don't
And we
get.
trusted him.
Here's what I don't get. Why did they bring that up? Because
That also wondered that.
Because here's why I forgot about it. Theo found him like dealing the drugs to Elif, and then he said maybe I should tell them what I saw, and then they said, well, maybe it's Christian. He's like, you know what? Yeah, it's Christian. Let's just blame him. And they never picked it up again. It was such a useless. Like, did they just want us to hate everyone in the book? Like, because I liked Yuri until that, and I was like, oh, what a dick. But then they didn't do anything with it, so it was such a pointless thing to have.
I
Like,
think
if it turns out like, oh, the patients are getting drugs from somewhere, so it has to be either one of the patients or the nurse or one of the staff, and it was a big deal.
I think what they were trying to do was just establish that the medicine cabinet or whatever you call it is not regulated at all. So like anyone can go out, which is why it was so easy for Theo to get the morphine.
Okay. That makes sense.
It doesn't though,
I
because he's a
agree with
doctor.
that.
He's a doctor, so he had access to it.
No, I
Oh.
don't think.
You don't have access. You can prescribe it, but you can't just go get it.
Oh, that's right, because he's a psychotherapist, so he wouldn't have the keys. People like Yuri would. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You
such
leave
a.
it
But like,
open and-
I didn't even realize that. So like, it doesn't. I feel like that was like. I thought they were gonna go somewhere big with that, and then when they said, "Oh, it's Christian, let's just blame him," I was like, "What the? Okay."
Right,
So, yeah.
that was like the last 20 or 30 pages of the book too. So
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
kinda like that.
it's kind of like the author went. By the way, Yuri's not that great. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Should
I'm
not
with you on that.
rush the ending. The ending did seem a little rushed.
I agree with that. Oh, yeah, kind of. Because then like, oh, there's cops here. Oh, there's a murder. Yeah. So,
She's in a coma. Uh-huh. It's like, oh, okay.
but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Most endings are kind of hard to like.
Also, why put it in a coma? Why not just fucking kill her?
Because I think now we just.
Well, but they were
No.
cleaning out all her stuff. Like, remember they're cleaning out her stuff because they said that she probably won't live. So it kind of leaves you questioning, well, does she die in her coma or does she just stay in a coma?
Yeah, I think that's open for like that's how it ends because like it's people wondering and they can start that conversation of like, is she gonna live? Do you think she should live? Like, because what's gonna happen now? Like, let's say this, like, let's say she wakes up and they say, hey, it was Theo. Yeah, we prosecute him. There's a ton of evidence. By the way, thank you for writing. That helped. What do you think she's gonna do? Do you think she's gonna go back to not talking because now she realizes, like, once she finds out why he did it, she might somewhat understand his reasoning, somewhat, and then be like,
I don't
oh,
think she would.
but do you think she'll go back to not talking again?
Yes.
You
I
do?
100% think she will. She's not just gonna be like, well, that's it, case solved, I'm gonna go back to painting. I think if she ever does wake up, she's gone. Like, I think she's gonna still... Because Theo definitely saved her for selfish reasons for the most part. I mean, it
Yes.
literally was. So I'm glad she's not dead, but at the same time, like, if she never wakes up, it might be best for her.
Well, I don't know, because remember at the beginning of it, she was saying that she even questioned herself if she was really seeing the man or not. But then when she found Theo, she was like, okay, well, I don't know what
She
you're
had a-
thinking anymore,
she had a
because now
per-
I know I'm not crazy. It was real.
And I guess she kind of, yeah, she had a purpose to, like, she
Oh.
wanted to bring him down. But now
So
that
she
she
might-
knows, do you think she'd feel sympathy for him?
No.
No.
Oh, not
Because
entirely.
He destroyed her life.
Right. But I'm saying,
Only so was left of it.
I don't think it would have been good if he killed her, but I don't think she should wake up because she's gonna go back to just not talking.
Silence is
Oh.
golden.
What'd you say, Austin?
Silence is golden.
It is, especially the permanent
Yeah.
type. The type that morphine would induce. But yeah, so yeah. That's all I gotta say. I don't know about you guys.
Theo was reading her diary, and she was talking about the man. He knew she was talking about him.
Yes.
How would he feel about that whole thing?
I don't know. I also don't know why he didn't keep it at that point.
He didn't what?
Why didn't he keep? That was his biggest mistake. Why did he not keep the diary?
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Because she wasn't talking at that point, right? He was trying to get her to trust him more.
Yeah, she
But
wasn't talking.
but like if I'm reading that, I'm trying to help someone, and then I read that little bit of that day where like I'm being stalked by a man. It's like, oh frick, I should probably keep this, just in case.
oh, this ends on a cliffhanger. What the fuck?
Well, I thought that the whole writing about the man that was stalking her, she was doing that after he got the diary, or after he gave back the diary, wasn't she?
No, because Ethan's right. He said
Before her last entry, hold on, let me pull it up.
No. Actually, she did write about. That's why he was asking Christian, because Christian was saying, "Well,
Yeah.
fuels." So never mind.
Yeah. That's why I don't get why he didn't keep the diary.
Because her last entry before in part 3, it goes, "Oh my god, I can hear him. He's inside the house."
Yeah.
And then it's like, it ends on a cliffhanger. Like, why press that? If he's trying to, I don't know.
Well, that's to make it seem like he really is trying to help her, and I think that's him pressing to see what she knows.
Got it.
I just don't get why he didn't keep the diary. Is all. But yeah.
Well, I think it'd be illegal for him to keep it, and it still is.
But if it went missing,
Also illegal to,
inject morphine
kill
into
his
your
husband, kill her husband.
right. Yeah. I think yeah.
He didn't kill her.
I like the whole that's where you cross the line. Keeping someone's property is not legal.
Right.
I'm just messing with you, Holly.
No,
But yeah,
I know.
I pretty much that's all I have to say at this point with this book. Like I can't think of anything else unless we forgot something like we keep doing.
That's all I can think of. We could do those questions at the end of the book again if you want to.
We can try. Have we? I think we've pretty much we've pretty much talked about most of them.
Left.
We've pretty much
Wait,
talked
anything
about
left?
everything. I think. But yeah.
I think I also want to get some water and get some food and whatnot.
All right. Oh, but overall, like, what'd you guys think? Did you like it or no?
I
I
liked
liked
it.
it.
I think we all agree it was a pretty good book, right?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
Wait, really quick. There is a question in this little book that I'm actually curious about because I couldn't figure it out when I was reading it.
Ask it.
Okay. It says weather plays a large role in the book, such as the heat wave during the summer. What purpose do you think the description of the weather serves in the novel?
Well, now we know the whole
One
like
more
the
time.
whole. It means like emotions, right? Because like the whole snow, like when it snowed, he felt relaxed and everything, because he felt
Yeah.
happy there. I don't know about the heat wave. Maybe like tensions were high because that was when his wife was cheating on him, right?
Yeah.
It was during the summer and everything. It was so hot, and that's why they. So yeah, I didn't.
Okay, so emotions.
And I guess that makes sense, like with the whole like the iciness of like the like when on the roof they kept saying it was very cold and icy. So I don't know entirely what each one represents, but
That actually would make more sense though, especially after we figure out the snow thing. So it could definitely be moods.
I think it
Yeah.
I think it has to be like the emotions of one of the characters, whoever's in the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Agreed.
The snow is usually represented with freedom at this point throughout the book.
Well, I would not have picked that up.
Heat waves are the very opposite of snow. I don't know.
That might be, yeah, that's true, because he felt trapped in everything. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be so funny if someone like understands like all these things, and they're gonna be so frustrated that we're jumping around parts of the book. We forgot certain parts, like.
I'll get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, it was a good book. I liked it. Good read, Holly.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Glad you
good
guys-
first book for book club.